Ziggy, and welcome to my channel. Today, what are we looking at? We're looking at completing a very nice, very small pocket watch here. Let me just show it to you. There's the guts. There are the guts. The guts. Yeah. And the problem with this watch is I got to push in for it to actually wind. So I have to adjust the sleeve within the watch. So using a sleeve wrench to push this down just a bit, if you can see that difference here. And it pushes in on the spring, which allows me to wind it. And then when you pull out, it's working perfectly. So we're going to just do a quick adjustment on that right now. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the movement out. And to do that, I've got to pull the stem back with the crown. Just do this very carefully here. And I do it like this, so I've got a good grip on everything. And right now it is in time setting mode, right? And we want this to be, the stem to be back as much as it can be back when you're doing this. So we just take these screws out very carefully. Very carefully. I got my golf voice on today, so we're getting close to winter where I will be able to do more watch repair. So right now it's tough with what I call cottage season and all my worldly commitments that I have to actually get on with all the watches I've stacked up. But I did warn you folks out there in watch repair land that I would likely not have a boatload of time on my hands to do this. So there we go. That's the stem on the inside. And what I need to do now, the stem looks like it's been trimmed or something, right? By a previous watchmaker. Let me look at this. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. So what I need to do is grab that stem and then take the crown out. So here's where I do some praying, because when you do that, there is that remote possibility of actually the stem actually breaking, but in this case it didn't. So there is the crown coming off there like that, and I'll put a little bit of Loctite on there. And now what I need to do is lower this ever so slightly, and to do that we have this tool here. It says pennant something setting wrench. So there's various sizes here, and I don't know which size this would take. So I'm going to be playing the figure it out game. So it is where you see, if you can see this tool, it's got a hole here, and that's where the stem goes through, and then these little grippies here actually turn it. I'm all eyeballing straight down on the back end of the stem as it lines up with the case, just to make sure I don't turn it too much. And I will pick the right size here. I just have to make sure I don't screw this up. There we go. That might be the right size. So we're going to just do a little bit of turning on this and see where it goes. I need to get my thingamajobby doohickey lens on here and get a little bit closer to the work. Closer to the work. It's closer to the top, I think, is the song by a band that I like. So let me just see if I can sleeve wrench this over a bit. Not sure. It looks pretty, it feels pretty stiff. There we go. It's moving now. Now you don't want to turn it too much, or you got other problems. So there, I just turned that on the inside. Let me just take a look at the inside of that. And the sleeve wrench fits in there, and I turned it. Now I'm doing a little bit of hoping and praying here that I turned it enough, and this will work perfectly. So I put the crown back on, and just tighten it just a little bit. I don't need to tighten that a lot. I just need to grab the stem with my pliers like this and turn that crown just a bit. There we go. Crown turned. And now I'm hoping and praying, like I said, you always do that in the watch work, so that this will fit. So turn that around and then line that stem up a bit. I'm going to put my glasses out of the way here as I do this. It's tricky stuff. And you can just sort of turn this until it falls into place, I think. Which it should. There we go. So it just kind of fell into place. Come on, get in there. I may have to pick it up with my fingers, but I'm going to be a good boy here and put finger cots on so I don't mucky up the movement. Technical terms. Mucky up the movement. Mucking up the movement. There we go. Come on, get on there, finger cots. Don't be a pain in the finger cots. I know a lot of other watchmakers out there that make videos, and they do a lot of production work on their videos. And I don't do as much production work on my videos because I want you to feel the pain that I have in doing these watches, right? So let me just move that out of the way a bit and see if I can just slip that in a bit better. There we go. Now what I'm hoping here is that when I press this down in the way, it's going to wind the watch, and it is. It's excellent. Now when I pull it out, and just do it like this. Come on out. Don't be a pain. There we go. In this case, it should turn the hands. And I got to look really close here. I see a fingerprint, so I got to get the radical out. And it is turning the hands. So that is done. So that's how you set. That's how you, and I push that in, and it winds. Look at that. So that's winding the watch nicely. If I do this, the watch should start working. There we go. So that is the video on how to set the crown, or the stem rather, and adjust it so that when it's in, it's winding the watch. When it's out, it's setting the time. So that's it for the video today. I got to put the screws back. I'm using my Bergeron 5395 movement holder, which is really good. I could just do some more chatting while I put this together, right? So I know you folks just love when I chat. So that's just setting that up properly. I was kind of on the fence of whether to do it or not, and I thought, you know what, you got to do a professional job, and that is what I do. So this watch is, I just have to make sure it's still keeping good time. And the sad thing about these watches is that usually when I deliver these back to somebody, they're giving them to their grandsons or something like that, so they're going to end up in a drawer for a while, I suspect. So hopefully that drawer has got plenty of ventilation, and there's little fingers in there in the drawer that can automatically come out and oil the watches. So it's yeah, there we go. I just want to tighten this up adequately so it's, there we go. So the movement's in there nicely. Get some radical out here and make sure there's no additional stuff going on. I don't think there is. So I cleaned this one up before, and I'm going to be regulating this in a few minutes. I'd regulated it already, but I'm going to regulate it. Plus I got to put the hands in. So, and then the watch will be all ready. Let me see if I can very carefully put the back on. This is a bit tricky. I won't bother going through that because this back is really tricky. So I won't bother doing that. I just wanted you to see how I adjust the sleeve in here, and I move the sleeve inward a bit so that the spring would be engaged on the inside of the mechanism there to allow this to be winding when it's down like this, and then setting when you pull it out. So it worked. It's excellent. And that's it, and I'll see you later. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe. It's a quick one, but comprehensive enough, I guess.